The route to St Peter's Chapel along the path from the car park is the same route that has been trodden by many thousands of other pilgrims who have walked along the straight road built by the Romans. This chapel was built by St Ced in 654 AD, but he used stones from a previous Roman fort and built on the foundations of the main gateway into this Roman fort of Othona. Othona was one of the half-circle of Saxon shore forts built around southeast England in the 3rd century to repel Saxon pirates. Constructed of Kentish ragstone brought by boat, the fort was nearly square. The walls extended towards the hedge across the field to the north and to the bushes on the south. These walls were 4 metres thick with rounded corners, and about 2/3 of the enclosed area is now covered by sea at high tide. The Romans withdrew from England after 410 AD, and Othona was left to become a deserted ruin and easy prey for Saxon invaders. However, excavations in the last century unearthed a number of Roman and Saxon objects, such as pottery, brooches, a cameo finger ring, a Frankish throwing axe, and many animal bones. In 653 AD, Ced, with one companion, landed in a small boat, having sailed down the east coast from Lindisfarne. Due to his effective mission, a strong Christian community was quickly established here, a fact which was recognised by Ced being consecrated as Bishop of the East Saxons the following year. He established communities here at Bradwell and at Tilbury, Mersey, Prittlewell and Upminster, always creating communities rather than isolated church buildings. The Celtic missionaries established very simple and basic monasteries, comprising a collection of little stone beehive huts or wattle and daub dwellings, usually with a hospital, a guest house, a refectory, a schoolroom for 12 boys, a studio for designing knotwork patterns and illuminating the Gospels, and a scriptorium for copying portions of the Bible. Farm buildings would also be in evidence. In these very simple communities, where poverty was the rule, there may well have been both men and women, ordained and lay people, single folk and families, all sharing in a common routine of work, mission and prayer. Ced was educated by the monks of Lindisfarne, together with his 3 younger brothers, Cineville, Caelin and Chad, all of whom became priests, but both Ced and Chad also became bishops. Ced had already led a successful mission in the Midlands before being invited to share his faith with the East Saxons by King Sigbert. The chapel he built here was the heart of a new Christian community, a monastery. Built from the remains of the Othona fort, we can still today see red Roman tiles among the Kentish ragstone. At the east end can be traced the outline of 2 arches which curved round to rest on a central pillar. Originally there were 2 side rooms and a rounded apse at the east end, which is marked in the grass outside, and the altar would have been beyond the present filled-in east wall. Ced's great claim to fame, however, lay not with this chapel at all. In 664 AD, because he was a man of great integrity and was fluent in both Irish and Latin, he was summoned to be the interpreter at the very important Synod of Whitby. At this meeting, the differences between the Celtic Christians working from Iona in Scotland and the continental Christians working from Canterbury were resolved, establishing the pattern of church life which has survived in England to this day. That same year, Cedd withdrew to another of the monasteries he had founded at Lastingham in the Yorkshire moors and died of the plague. 30 monks from here travelled to be with him, but sadly 29 also caught the disease and died, leaving only one small boy to return to the community here.
Good morning everyone. I'm here in the tiny ancient chapel of St Peter's on the Wall here at Bradwell On Sea in Essex on the coast. If you followed the channel for a while, you'll know that I love this place and I've been here a lot of times. I've wild camped nearby on the beach several times, but this weekend is going to be pretty special because it's my 32nd birthday, getting old, and I'm joined by the very lovely Candice, who's waiting outside, losing her patience with me because I've been in here filming. I'm joined by Mark, First Class Adventures, and I'm joined by James, Bad Hair Adventures, with Bella the dog. And to begin with, we're going to be doing a 7-mile walk, it started from the chapel car park, which is about half a mile away, to the chapel, and then we're going to walk past the Othona Christian community, which is also the site of the old Roman fort of Othona. We're going to walk along the seawall, along the beach where I normally camp, round to Bradwell Nuclear Power Station, past that, which is not such an eyesore really. You can see it for miles around, but it's quite a well-known local landmark. Then we're going to head to Bradwell Waterside, a lovely little village by the River Blackwater. There's a good pub there. Stop for a drink, maybe a quick bite to eat, and then we'll be heading inland on the Dengie Peninsula back to Bradwell Village. There's another pub there and a church, and then we'll be heading up like an arrow straight road back to the car park here. There's a pub en route as well, so 3 pubs, not bad. Then we're going to swap out our day walking rucksacks. We've got a hell of a lot of camping gear because it's meant to get cold tonight, so we've got stuff for a fire, we've got our tents. Candice has got a new tent she's going to show you. I've got some presents from the guys, which is much appreciated. Cheers. They're all waiting for me, they're really annoyed. Birthday boy's late again. So yeah, we've got lots of alcohol tonight and some food. I've got my new OEX Fryster frying pan, and we're going to try cooking some bacon and some sausages for some bacon and sausage rolls, either for tonight or in the morning, whenever. So that's going to be fun because I've not really done any cooking like that before, and I promised that I would start trying something, so I thought we'd start with something basic. I'll probably still cock that up. Hopefully the microphone is working. I've had a couple of issues with it, so apologies if it goes a little bit quiet from time to time. Don't know what that's all about. So we're going to sort of use the walk as an opportunity to scout out some new spots, because I always go to the same spot here when I come to camp at Bradwell. So we might sort of go over this way past this observation tower, which is derelict now. Usually I head round that way past the Othona community, which is here. I've actually bought a collapsible sack barrow as well to carry firewood and stuff as well on. So this is going to be glamping, but the trip here isn't going to be glamping, carrying all that stuff, but it'll be worth it though, and most of it's consumable stuff, so we'll get rid of it and then we won't have nowhere near as much to carry on the way back. We'll probably halve our total weight. So here's the other guys. So it promises to be a very good birthday weekend this. My birthday's actually tomorrow, Sunday. At the time of filming this, it's Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. The wind has died down, which is brilliant. There they are. So yeah, anyways, enough talking, let's get walking.
Bradwell Shell Bank Nature Reserve, or Bradwell Cockle Spit, is managed by the Essex Wildlife Trust. It consists of 30 acres of shell bank and salt marsh. The beach-like spit is built up by tidal currents and is mainly cockle and oyster shells. The wooden posts jutting out of the river near Sales Point are known to be a Saxon fish trap. The pillbox here was built in World War II to help defend the coast from invaders. A line of ex-Port of London Authority lighters were installed just off the coast to help prevent coastal erosion. The low-lying areas between the land and open salt water are regularly flooded by the tide, creating salt marsh. The salt marsh in the Blackwater estuary and its surroundings hold one of the most important concentrations of rare and unusual salt-tolerant plants in Essex. Electricity was first generated at Bradwell Nuclear Power Station in 1962. Decommissioning started in 2002, making it the first UK nuclear plant to be closed on a planned basis. Now housed in protective cladding, it will stand like this for many years to come.
Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to the pub we go. We're halfway round, the drinks cost £5. Hi ho, hi ho.
Enough thinking, let's get drinking. Bradwell Marina is situated at Bradwell Waterside on the south shore of the River Blackwater. It has an impressive white circular observation tower. The marina has 350 berths, including 50 for visitors. An RAF War Memorial marks the entrance of the disused World War II Bradwell Bay airfield. It was built in 1940 to strengthen Britain's east coast defences against possible invasion. The grass landing strip turned into an RAF station with concrete runways and hangars, but inevitably closed in 1946. Bradwell on Sea is located on the eastern tip of the Dengie Peninsula on the south bank of the River Blackwater. The village and its surroundings are steeped in history dating back to the Romans and Saxons. We've just left the King's Head pub here in Bradwell after another drink, and this is quite cool. This is one of those old horse mounting blocks, so to get on your horse you'd go up those little steps and then climb on your horse. Pretty cool, isn't it? This is another interesting thing. We've found the old village lockup, so usually was for like minor offences, like if you was drunk, and they'd stick you in there for the night. We can't see in there. Looks like they just stored some spare fencing in there, but how cool is that?
Yeah, 'cause there's a pub over there.
There's the pub, so you wouldn't have far. She'd be like, you've had too much. I don't care how much, but it's too much. You're spending the night in there. How cool is that? So I love them things. Yeah. They're usually called the cage, the village cage. Anyway, there, bit of history. Well, it's gone 4 PM now, so we're losing light pretty quick. We just had quite a nice sunset behind us, and we've arrived back at the car park, the free overnight car park for St Peter's on the Wall Chapel here in Bradwell. It's a really good walk. Highly recommend it. I've done it probably 3 times now, I think. So we're going to swap out our nice light comfy day walking rucksacks, and we're going to get our probably unnecessarily heavy camping rucksacks on. We're bringing quite a lot of stuff with us tonight because it's my birthday, so going to be a bit of a relaxed celebratory wild camp. So tents, tables, chairs, fire, booze, lots of food, yeah, all the bells and whistles. So probably going to be a bit of a break now between this and when we're actually set up. We're just going to focus on getting the gear and getting down to the beach near the chapel. No point really showing you any of that, so we've got a lot of work to do now. So I'll put the camera away for an hour or so, get ourselves sorted, then I'll bring you back, okay? Thank you for watching this far already. Cheers. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back everyone. Apologies, I have not spoken for quite a few hours now since you last saw us at the chapel car park. We managed to get all the stuff down here. I had to borrow my mum's sack barrow and carry all the bags of firewood and sort of extra food, booze, mainly the sort of the fire cooking equipment and, you know, chairs, little table, stuff like that. Rucksacks on our back, and use the sack barrow for the rest. Had to get through sort of a few muddy bits, and yeah, we've made it out sort of onto the beach and then kind of onto this sort of like little spit of kind of a shell sort of sandy beach. It's midnight now. We got here at about, I think it was around 6 PM, and Candice has got her new tent, the VANGO Cairngorm 100, it's a little one-person tent, and it's a lot like a VANGO Nevis or a Wild Country Zephyrus 1. So I've got that for her for, it's sort of like Christmas, Valentine's Day, birthday sort of present all rolled into one. It's her main present, and she loves it, the space and everything. It's really good. It's still low profile, she can sit up in it. She's a little bit cold at the moment just because she doesn't cope too well with the cold, and I've said to her she can jump in this tent with me if she gets too cold in the night. I'm in my VANGO HELVELLYN 200, but it is more suited as a one-person tent. Definitely, it's very luxurious, but you can fit 2 people in if you need to. So yeah, if she gets too cold, she can just come in here and she'll be a lot warmer. Mark's got his new Pro Action 2-person dome tent. It's a single skin tent. He bought himself another one after I think he left the other one stored wet and it went all mildew. So they're only about 25 quid, I think he said, maybe less than that. And he just bought himself another one, but it's a newer model, and he claims it's bigger and it's different. I don't know, it didn't look that much different, but yeah, so he's got that. And James and Bella the dog have got the Wild Country Zephyrus 1-person tent, which is a tent I used to own. It's a good little tent, and the VANGO Cairngorm's very similar, as I say. So been having some ciders, some food. I've had a Wayfarer sausages and beans meal, a Wayfarer sticky toffee pudding. Mark very kindly bought me a birthday cake, so we ate that pretty quick actually. We demolished that. We've had a couple of bottles of Copperberg mulled cider, like a spiced sort of cider with cinnamon, and I had a Recorderlig mango and raspberry cider, which was really nice actually. I've not had that one before. And then we tried some beers as well, like a ruby beer Hobgoblin. That wasn't that nice, but James and Mark, who I gave it to, said it was really nice, so it's all good. James also very kindly bought me like a folding survival shovel, and I suppose you can use it for when you go for a shit in the woods. It also turns into like a pick, like a kind of a not a pickaxe, I guess so, yeah. On the side of the shovel it's got like a serrated edge for sawing, and got a bottle opener on one end, or a can opener, and we use that to sort of dig our fire pit. And it's really small and compact. I have actually got like a folding snow shovel, but it's quite heavy and bulky, and it's in the boot of the car. So this is really nice and compact. I can take that on wild camps with me, and it's been really useful. So I've been using that for the fire. We've still got some wood and stuff left over for the morning, because we're going to be cooking up some sausages and bacon for some rolls, which I bought. And I've got a new frying pan, the OEX Fryster. I've never really done a lot of cooking, like proper cooking, camping before, so I thought 2020 is the year to maybe try some of that out. So I'm going to start off with something basic, sausages and bacon. Like I say, I'll probably still cock that up, and yeah, we'll have that for the morning. Oh yeah, Mark's bought me a 2.5 litre drum of methylated spirits for my stove. Cheers mate. Brilliant. That's in his car at the moment, so a bit of a strange thing to leave in the boot of your car in a car park in the middle of nowhere, but anyway. So I've got that. He's got me a card. I think I'm getting that in the morning. And Candice has got me a card, and it's got something in it, a present, she said, bless her. So that's back at home though. So I've got this new like fold up Highlander chair, you know, you just sit back in it and it allows you to sit upright and not get backache. It's got a little pocket at the front to store stuff in. New sleeping bag liner. It's silk. I got that really cheap in Go Outdoors. Then I've got like a cheap silver knockoff fold up, you know, like one of those Thermarest Z-Lite pads. Got one of those off of eBay, come from China or someplace. It was only about 14-15 quid, rather than paying, how much do you pay for a Thermarest Z-Lite? Like 25-30, sometimes 35 quid. They're good, but they don't need to be that expensive. So I've got exactly the same thing for half the price, so I thought that was pretty good. Did have to wait a while for it though. And then the big thing, the big gift that I treated myself to, is a new sleeping mat. That's not the best angle, I know. It's a Climate insulated static V sleeping pad. So they're an American company, made in Taiwan it says though. And I've got the bag here to show you, because I needed a new sleeping mat, because my OEX ones were slowly failing me. So we're going to see what this pad's like tonight, how warm it is. And comes in quite a big bag. You get a rough idea of it anyway. So I'll read the stats to you. So apparently it weighs 680 grams. That light is far too bright. There we go. Brighter than the sun, that thing. It's suitable for cold weather, it says. Tent camping. It's good for side sleepers as well. Backpacking. So it's got raised V chambers, create comfortable loft pockets that support the body's pressure points. Sleeping pad reservoirs maximise loft and warmth. Side rails make it easier to stay on the pad through the night. I thought that was really useful, so we'll see if it does that tonight. Rugged 75D polyester fabric is soft and quiet. Inflation is fast and easy. It's compatible with the rapid air pump, which I've bought one of those, and at the moment I'm struggling to figure out how to fit it onto the valve, but apparently, because Mary has got one of these, apparently you can take the little yellow bit out of the thing, out of the inflation nozzle thing, and then you can just clip the dry pump in, because I want to do that. I've blown it up twice, once tonight and then the other day when I was having a look at it, because I was excited about getting it. I don't really want to be blowing my own damp breath into this. I don't want to ruin it. I want to try and look after it, so I bought the dry pump sack, and yeah, I couldn't figure out how to attach it, but apparently you've got to do something with the nozzle or something, I don't know. So I'm going to have a play around with that, and hopefully it will work. Either that or I'm sending it back. So anyway, what else? Inflates in 10 to 15 breaths without a pump, which is about right. That's how much it took me. It's got a patch kit with it, and this was the most important thing of all. I needed a sleeping pad that had a higher R value, which kind of roughly tells you how warm it's going to keep you, you know, what kind of seasons it's suited for. I think my OEX ones, to put this in context, was something like a 1.3, 1.4. They weren't very high. I thought they were warm, but they started developing a few cold spots. This is 4.4, so this is almost, I think, like the highest you can get. I think it goes up to 5, I'm not sure, but this is like apparently one of the warmest mats you can get. So for that little bit extra weight, it is 680 grams. I'm going to invest in it, and should do the job. I think I paid around 57 quid for it, and it's brand spanking new. It's not had any previous owners. This is brand new off the factory line, so I was quite pleased with that. Did have to wait quite a while because it's come from America, but you know, it's worth it. And I think I can justify spending that on a mat now. I've never spent that much before on a mat. I've always been quite frugal and tried to save me pennies where I can. And I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna splash a little bit of cash because I think I can justify some of this spending because I'm out almost every weekend. You know, like I should get a discount on housekeeping because I'm never at home. Really, I'm always outside. Doesn't mean I'm going to go and spend over 100 quid on a mat or hundreds of pounds on a tent. I don't see the need for that really. I can do everything I need to do with sort of cheaper gear, but I am starting to move towards slightly higher end gear, just because I think it's worth it rather than me buying something cheap and crap that ends up, you know, failing sort of a year later, whereas this hopefully will last me for years with any luck. So I'm going to look after it as best I can, and hopefully it works. Yeah, look, you can see this, so it's like a accordion fold up style silver mat. Probably don't need that really with it, but gonna get some sleep. It's warmer in here definitely. I'll let you know how the mat goes. I'll let you know how Candice's tent goes, how she gets on with it, and I'll see you at around 8 AM. I think we're getting up because we're not in a rush to be anywhere, so I'm going to cook some breakfast and probably hang around here till like midday, something like that. So no rush at all. This is really relaxed, this place. So yeah, see you in the morning. Hopefully we get a sunrise, who knows. Anyways, good night everyone. Cheers. So for breakfast this morning we're going to be using the new OEX fry pan to do some bacon and sausages on. As you can see, I've not used it yet, so this is going to be its maiden voyage. Anodised aluminium, got those handles as well, so we fit some sausages in there, some bacon, and whack it on our fire, which is much needed. It's so cold out here. We woke up and there was just a frost everywhere over everything, and it's always this way on my birthday. I know it's that time of year of course, but every birthday camp I do it's ridiculously freezing, like Baltic. Everything's frozen. Egypt Bay last year in Kent was the same. When we went up to Suffolk, to Sizewell a couple of years ago for my 30th, that was freezing as well, and everything was frozen. So a fire's definitely needed, and we've got some wood left over. We purposely saved some. Got another fire log somewhere. Don't know where that's gone to, but I'm doing a coffee and a hot chocolate, a mocha. This is the survival shovel that James got me. So you can flip one end up. Trying to do this one-handed is difficult. There we go. And you tighten that up and it turns into like a pick, I guess, at that end. And then you've got that serrated edge that I suppose you can cut stuff with, and then like a bottle opener or tin opener. And I mean, of course, you can also dig cat holes for your number 2s as well. I've been using it for the fire, really, for digging the fire pit out and moving logs about. Yeah, it's all good. Cheers. Of course, yeah, Mary picked it apparently, so cheers, Mary. So for breakfast we've got some back bacon rashers. Candice picked those out because I know nothing about bacon. We've got our rolls, warbuns. We've got some butter there, so we'll probably have to fry it in that. We've got only the best Richmond thick sausages. And oh no, actually, sorry, no, we can use it to cook. We can cook with that, the sunflower cooking oil spray. And then, this is a really good idea, I thought, rather than try and bring a big bottle. Where is it? We nicked a few sachets from the pub yesterday, so we've got some brown sauce. I mean, I'm not a fan personally, but some people love brown sauce on their bacon or sausage sandwiches, and then we've got some ketchup as well. So, breakfast of kings. I cannot wait for this. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully I won't give us all food poisoning. James and Bella are awake. Mark's awake, filming. Morning. He's closing in on 100 subscribers. First Class Adventures, so you better subscribe. Yeah, because then we can have another celebratory wild camp and he'll get horribly drunk again. So if you want to see that, subscribe. Well, it's the only way, isn't it? Yeah. So my tent's right over the back there, the VANGO HELVELLYN. That was good last night. There's James's Wild Country Zephyrus 1. And then here's Candice's brand new VANGO Cairngorm 100. And she liked it. She said it was cosy. She can sit up in it. Lots of space. I think she was a little bit chilly at first, but she got to sleep in the end. Yeah, it's a very nice colour. It's moss green sort of thing, orange guy lines. It's not as loud colours as the other VANGO tents, and it's nice. I mean, it's basically a straight model of like the Nevis or the Zephyrus 1. It's a good little tent. Liking it, yeah. And then Mark over here, he's got his brand new. It's his second time. He's on his second wife with this one. His second Pro Action 2-person tent, is it? Or
yeah, dome tent.
Dome tent. And apparently it's bigger. There's more space in it. What else is new about it?
No, they just upgraded the size. That's what they've done.
So it's just a little bit bigger inside apparently.
Yeah.
Got a little porch as well. Single skin. How was that?
Cold and damp. To be honest with you, there's no point lying about.
Yeah, no, be brutally honest. You could have borrowed my bivvy bag.
But I was warm once I got in my bag and I had my sleeping bag liner in.
Yeah.
And I had these underneath my feet.
Hand warmers.
Yep. and once they were underneath my feet, that was it. I was warm then.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get out.
It's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, they do help.
Hand warmers, people. Hand warmers and foot warmers. They are the best thing ever invented. You survive, that's the main thing.
Did, yeah.
That's all shelters are meant to do, people, is survive, you know. It doesn't matter how much they cost or whatever, really. It's, do they work? You know, did you die or not? No. You know, you might be a little bit cold sometimes, but the main thing is you survived. So, anyway, yeah. Right. I reckon it's time for some food. We're just waiting for this to go down to embers, and then we'll drag some embers or coals out, whatever it is, I don't know. Don't do bushcraft. And and then we'll put the grill on, put the frying pan on, and we'll take our first few tentative steps towards outdoors cooking. Oh! It's a frightening prospect. Anyway, there's the sack barrow. Cheers, Mum. Brilliant. Really worked. It was great. It's gone a bit off-road though, so it's a bit muddy, but it's been a good camp, if a bit cold. Good?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. Excellent. Because Candice made that.
With sand.
With sand as well. Yeah, I did. I accidentally got the sand on it. So we've got 8 rashers, so that's 2 each, and we've got 12 sausages, that's 3 each. And then we've got 8 buns, so we've got 2 each. Excellent. We're having the last of the sausages now. We've each had a sausage roll, bap, whatever you want to call it, and we've had bacon rolls as well. It's been one of the best breakfasts in camp ever. I can see why people do this stuff now. It's a bit more stuff to carry. You've got to keep this food cold, which wasn't a problem last night as it was ridiculously cold. And you have to fire. But it's worth it. Go on, what's
Before
up?
they moan.
Before they moan.
Yeah, I'm not getting the raw food. I mean the cooked food, so.
Yeah, that's true. Candice wants to point that out. Basically, I started cooking, and then I kept dropping the bacon in the sand, and everyone went, Tom, you're not to be trusted. You've not got safe hands. You couldn't be in goal for England. Definitely not. Right, seriously, I think now I've turned 32, that's it. Everything's failing, and I just went boof and kept dropping the bacon. James and Mark's bacon I dropped. We all know I'd never ever deliberately drop Mark's bacon. And yeah, so he's got roughage in his diet now. Yeah. So, anyway, cut a long story short, in the end Candice took over cooking duties and I was relegated to buttering the rolls, which I just about managed. I've realised that these titanium spooks, really good edge for buttering rolls with. Yeah, that's my input. So that is the story of camp so far. It's about 10 AM, maybe gone 10 AM. I was born at 9:30 this morning in 1988, so I'm officially 32. Hey! It's been a good birthday. It's been a laugh. We're ending it with some good food. We're in no rush to get out of here yet, so sort of stay a bit longer and shoot the breeze. Eat some more sausages. It's 11:30. We've eaten all the food. I'm just having a tea, and we're burning the last of the wood, which is down to embers more or less, so be a lot less stuff to carry for when we walk back that way. Literally behind us you can just see the chapel there, and there's like, there's the little old sort of, I don't know if it's a coast watch tower or bird watching tower hide thing. That's all derelict. We've seen some dog walkers over that way. This spot here though is really quiet because it's difficult to get to. It's very muddy, so people don't tend to come down here. So I think going forwards I'll probably go to this spot more often, really. So yeah, we're just chilling out. It's a very relaxed camp. Mark and Candice are packing up their respective shelters. I suppose I better start doing mine now. Least favourite part is the packing up. I might bury the fire first, actually, do that. So I'm now on to packing the inside of the tent away. Just thought I'd show you the new sleeping mat. So it's a Climate insulated static V mat, and you can see sort of how thick it is. So yeah, R value 4.4, and I've got that cheap Chinese Thermo-SC like copy underneath it. So last night I was warm. It was definitely better than my old OEX pads. Definitely felt warmer on it, but I don't know, I feel like I should have been warmer. Like my arse still felt a little bit cold. I think I was warmer actually laying on my side as opposed to laying on my back, which was strange. It does say it's good for side sleepers, but surely you should be able to lay on your back as well on this. And I do fit on it just about. I would say I've probably got a couple of inches here and there from like my head or my feet, and I can fit my shoulders on it like laying on my back. That's got a little bit of room on it, yeah. So but if he was any taller you'd sort of struggle. I mean, if you're James's height, I think he was borrowing Mary's last night, and I think he said his feet hang off it, so he had to sort of curl up in a ball on it. So I would say sort of if you're 6 foot plus, you're probably going to have your feet or your head hanging off of this, but other than that I can't fault it. It's good. I need to give it some more tests, of course. This isn't enough to cut it. I mean, it was ridiculously cold last night, but it should work well in that. So this is the valve. So you have that flip to inflate, and then press there to deflate it. That's you rapidly deflate it like that, and that way it'll deflate slowly. And apparently to use the dry pump bag, you take that out, and I think you clip the pump bag in there and then pump it up. I'm going to quickly try it now actually before I pack it away. But yeah, you have that in there if you just want to do it without the pump. So that's quite a cool little design. Leaving absolutely no trace. That's my spot. There's James and Bella's spot, no trace. There's Candice's spot, no trace. And there's Mark's spot, leaving no trace. That's all of our rubbish in this big old log bag. We've got the sack barrow, cheers mum, to put all the stuff on, and that is it. We're going to be going out a hell of a lot lighter, but by no means lightweight still. Luckily it's only a half a mile walk along some fairly good tracks to the car park past the chapel. So we'll see you back at the cars.
There, we're back at the car, and I know you may laugh, but this sack barrow has been brilliant. If you're doing like a really luxury camp and you want to bring firewood and all kinds of stuff, you can't go wrong with one of them. It's collapsible, it does fold up, and it's not that heavy really, and anything you can't get in your rucksack, just pull it along on that. It's brilliant. This is the present that Mark got me. It's 2.5 litres of meths, because I recently got into meths. So cheers, mate.
No problem at all. Happy birthday.
And he got me a cake. Thank you very much. That was lovely. And I mean that. So yeah, meths. So that's the end of this video. Cars are all packed and we are heading off. Me, Mark and the lovely Candice are heading off to Pizza Hut for my birthday lunch. James, unfortunately, has got the dog. He's got to head back and look after Bella, but it's been a real pleasure hanging out with all three of you again. Thank you very much for your presents.
Welcome, dude.
And the cake. The shovel's great. I'm definitely bringing that on more camps. My mic's fallen on the floor. Apologies, didn't notice. Right. And cheers, Mark, for the meths as well. That was much appreciated. Hang on, technical difficulties. There we go. Sorted. And of course, Candice, thank you for gracing us with your beauty and
Cooking skills.
yeah, I've got a present from Candice at home, so it's been good. And of course, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. It was a very relaxed camp, so don't expect too much from it. The cooking was fun. Well, Candice did the cooking, but the food was very nice. That was some of the best camping food I think we've ever had. So yeah, it was enjoyable. It was good. So yeah, cheers for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Look after each other. Stay safe. Be nice to each other. All that jazz. Get out there, explore, everyone. Cheers. Goodbye. Bye. It's Pro Action Man. Da 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 da. Pro Action Man, Pro Action Man. Boom boom boom. Sponsoring Pro Action.
There you go. Oh.
Their little legs. This weather's got bad. Weather's got bad. If it ain't raining, it ain't trading. Oh, bloody hell.
Cock your leg over.
It's called the Rider. Riding like a bitch out of hell.
That.
Oh! I can't do it with no hands though.
I'm not going to piss myself.